When the spotlight was really on us, I felt very uncomfortable.
Would you, like 10 years or 8 years back when you were on a break, would you have thought you would sit here? Was there ever a moment you thought, well, Buffalo Tom is over during that period?
No, because you know, for us it wasn't that we saw all the little things that we were doing in between. You know, we kind of stepped off the touring and recording cycle a little bit, but we were still playing, and we still were in fact touring a little bit, but very short little tours on an A-sides and a B-sides record. But we had a #1 single in the UK with this cover of the Jam. That was the hugest success we'd ever had, you know, and so we kind of came over and did a little tour around that. But we were having families, and we just didn't have the time and the attention to devote to Buffalo Tom that we did in the older days. And now we kind of moved back. We don't have that much time either, but we sort of carved out more time to get back on the recording thing. Because we kept playing, and the band was a very vital presence, but we didn't want to become just trapped in nostalgia either. We wanted to keep doing new music, but it took a while to kind of get that next record going. And so the time between the two records looks like a big amount of time. I don't know. I mean, I think when we first took the break, it probably could have gone either way if we ever really kind of got back and did more records. We left it open-ended. We didn't make a clean break, and we didn't say we're not, or we didn't say I'll meet you back here in a year and we'll record. It was kind of left open-ended and just let to evolve.
Well, in a previous interview with us back in 2007, you said that the togetherness in the band was affecting the music. I didn't quite get what you meant by that. I don't know.
Me?
Yeah?
I don't know what I meant by that back then, but I would think that it's an unnatural environment. Like it's hard to compare it to anything, because you're in a van and you're in airports and you're tired and you're together more than you're with almost anybody. Even like, you know, when I'm on tour with these guys, I'm around them more than I'm around with my family when I'm home, you know, because you're doing other things. But when you do touring, which we essentially did for 10 years, it's at some point you just hit a big resistance factor, and everything just starts to get, you know, it's hard to find more positives. It's easier to find more negatives. It kind of weighs heavily, and then I think we just needed to just take a break and get into other things in our lives. I mean, I know I did, and Tom he had 2 kids by the time we released that Smitten record, and it was clear that it was getting to be a real difficult thing to balance everything in life.
Is having kids in any way compatible with band life?
Well, I think for me, you know, there was a part of the band life where I identified as a musician. Like, oh, what do you do? Like, what are you? Like, and I thought, oh, you know, when I was 27 years old, oh, this is what I do. And oh yeah, I'm in a family. You know, I'm the youngest kid. I have 4 brothers and sisters, whatever. But I probably looked at my life that way. But once having kids for me, then it was, I'm not even sure where the band thing comes in. Even when people are like, oh, do you still like to play music or whatever, it's like, I don't think about it too much. The kid-family thing is so overwhelming, and it's an identity. It's such a huge, for me, it's such a giant part of my life that I have a hard time even sometimes thinking like, you know, the music part comes easy, but the identifying myself as a musician or being part of the band anymore, and I think that's healthy. I think it's good. It's never been very unhealthy for us to be like, oh, we're musicians, we must make a record. But I think it's good to have something in your life that you identify with, that you love, that everything's going well with, and then have music as another thing.
Oh, I thought that was the music.
Yeah. You know, because I think that's what it was like when we first started too. I was in college and I had a lot of things going on in my life, but Buffalo Tom was starting and it was fun, but it was always kind of like something I'm a little better at focusing on when it's a little not, you know, because I think I'm self-conscious personally. I thought when the spotlight was really on us, I felt very uncomfortable, and I felt not deserving of, you know, I'm a little more, my sense of rock music too is like, I'm embarrassed sometimes when rock musicians are sort of put themselves up against some of the great things in life. Some of the rock bands that we've toured with seem to be like, you know, it's their moment, they're making $1 million or whatever, so that they're their very significant thing, and that's when it really occurs to me like, almost that feeling like as a kid when my dad would sort of be quizzical about the Beatles. I understand that feeling of like, you know, I like rock, I mean, love rock music, and then there's some guys who I really think are amazing artists, but a lot of it's just rock. It's just 3 or 4 chords. We're just having fun, like just playing kind of down at the bar or in a basement. I think when it gets too much serious, which we lived in an era where it became a big business, that was kind of rotten.